Hi guys, welcome to Best in TV. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're having a great weekend so far. For today's video, we are doing some DIYs once again. Some of them are Dollar Tree, some of them are a combination of Dollar Tree and other things, but all of them are inexpensive and super cute. So to start off, I am recreating a wreath and making a cedar wreath is what I'm doing. And in order to make the cedar wreath, I'm using some sprigs that I got from Temu. And because these sprigs, they weren't super expensive, they were under, I think they were, I don't know, I want to be like 30 cents a sprig. They are small and they come in a big pack, but you would need a lot of them to make this wreath look really full. So what I'm doing is I'm using a cheap wreath that I had left over from a previous project. I had picked them up from Michael's a few years back when they had like 80, like at the end of the season, they had like 80% off or something. So I think I picked up the wreath for like $3 or something like that. And it isn't the nicest wreath on its own, but it's nice and green. And then I'm going to put these sprigs on top. So it'll help with making this wreath look really full without having to use a lot of the cedar on its own. You definitely could, and it would probably look amazing if you did. However, you would spend quite a bit of money on just the cedar alone if you just used a wreath form. But if you wanted to, it would probably look nicer, but I think it looks just as good using this. Now I have seen at the Dollar Tree they're a little bit smaller, but they have these boxwood wreaths. I think it was the Dollar Tree, not Dollarama, but I could be wrong. And they're just round and they're not quite as big, and they're not on a wreath form. They're just on kind of like a floral wire and wrapped around several times. And I've used them in my other videos. Maybe I'll link one up here just so you can kind of get an idea. And you could wrap these around those, and that would work too. Just if you didn't want to pick one up from Michael's because they're expensive, or if you couldn't find one that was inexpensive. But there's lots of ideas. You can probably pick one up at a thrift store too, or sometimes Facebook groups have, like we have a local one that's, it's called Garbage Me Not, and it's people who are trying to get rid of things but don't want to throw them out. And sometimes if you donate them to a thrift store, some of our thrift stores are really expensive. So, people just want to give them away to other people so that they can use them and it doesn't go to waste, and it doesn't go to a for-profit organization too. So anyway, just some ideas. So anyway, I am making this. I actually got it from when I redid my kitchen. One of the kitchens had this beautiful hood with a beautiful little wreath, and a lot of my inspiration for my kitchen came from that hood. And so then I recreated this wreath based on that hood. So anyway, here it is. It just took me 3 years to create this wreath, but here it is. I love it because you can change it out for the season. So I'm going to use this for my winter, but then in the spring I'll use something else, and hopefully I'll keep it going all year long. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Super easy, super quick, and on to the next one. Today I am using this butane torch head, which I received from Decor, and so far the packaging is really nice. It came in a nice bubble envelope, so it was very well protected. And then when you open it, you've got 2 torches, which I was surprised. So you've got 1 and 2 torches, and they come with these little nozzles to help you fill it up. It obviously doesn't come with the butane. And let's show you 3 nozzles, and then it also gives you some instructions on how to use it. So, and it gives you instructions on which butane to purchase and to use. So that was great. I just picked up a bottle from Canadian Tire of butane, and I used this one and it worked. Then the torches themselves are really nice. They're a nice color too. They have a locking mechanism, and they have a stronger and weaker. So I'll show you how that works. And then you can lock it so you don't actually have to hold it. And then that's the strongest setting. And then there, that's basically nothing. There's just like a little tiny flame there. Now I will be using this for some wood burning. Okay, and then you have to unlock it, and then it jumps out. Okay, and then the other one, same thing. I did go ahead and fill them up just so I could do a little review for you. And again, same thing, that's the long farthest, and then if I let go and I don't lock it, that's what happens. And then again, you can see how the flame minimizes if you don't want to do too strong. So I will be using these to do some wood stenciling and wood burning stenciling. So I will show you how I use these and how they turn out. So far they look great. I will also have a video on my cooking channel where I will be using these for some creme brulee. Alrighty, so I'm going to put this off to the side and I will begin my DIY. So as I mentioned in the previous clip, I will be doing some wood stenciling. So I kind of had two ideas. I was either going to use my art as stencils, or I was going to use my art to cover up the part that I didn't want wood burned and have it be light. So I'll show you the first way. I did use my Cricut, but you can buy stencils at the Dollar Tree. And you can buy cutouts, like you can even use window cling if you wanted to. It will probably burn though. But there's options for you to do different things. You could paint over it. Just, there's like different options that you could do if you are deciding to go the route of, like if you don't have a Cricut, you can buy stencils definitely at the Dollar Tree or any dollar store, or you could cut out your own using vinyl, which you can pick up at the dollar store too. But anyway, I have a Cricut, so I'm using a Cricut, and I use this Merry Christmas one first. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it on to the piece of wood, and then I'm going to use some soldering paste, which I will be putting all over the piece of wood, including on top of the vinyl. The vinyl is going to protect the Merry Christmas wording, so that way once I do the wood burning, it'll cover the Merry Christmas and it will leave that part unburnt, and then the rest of the stuff will be burnt. You just have to be careful because obviously vinyl is not fireproof, so it will catch on fire a little bit. So just when you're doing it, make sure everything is well ventilated and you have something on hand in case it catches fire and all of that stuff. So just be very, very careful. But anyway, and also when you're applying the paste, make sure you apply paste all over it, including on top of the vinyl, because that will protect it a little bit too. And as you can see, I applied it with a brush and I applied it with a rag. I just kind of did it whatever way made it go on the best. And I used a little tile underneath so that I would protect my surface. And then I turned my torch on and I did it first with trying to push it. Then I did the button where it would hold it on its own. And then I just torched away, as you can see here. And it did a really good job. Then I adjusted my flame. I didn't want to do it too strong because it would burn too much. And then some I did more, some I did less. I think I should have done a little bit less than what I did because see, as you can see here, I burnt it a little too much. I think with the wood burning, less is more, but you do what you feel will give you the best results, and it's to your taste too. So once you get the look you're going for, then you need to remove your vinyl. And as you can see, I just kept on going and going and going. I don't know why I kept on going and thinking I needed more. Because even now, watching the clip, I can see that I didn't need as much. But the vinyl will stick quite well because you're kind of essentially caking it on there with the torch. So you want to let it cool off just a touch so you can actually hold it, like touch it because it's hot. And I wound up using my scraper as well from Cricut to get the rest of the vinyl off, and that did a really good job as well. Then I also wanted to give this piece a little bit more to detail just to make it a little bit prettier. So what I did was I added a little bit of decor to it. So I just added little sprigs from the Dollar Tree. They come in a little pack and they are like Christmas tree branches, and I cut one in a few pieces and I attached 3 of the pieces to the top with some berries as well. And just hot glue them to the top just to give it a cute little look. Now, if you're going to hang it on a tree, you could also attach a little jute rope to the top as well with some hot glue, or you could drill a hole through here as well, or even you could haul a whole bunch of hole as well because it's quite thin. And that's all there is to this one. I think it turned out really cute. Here it is all finished. So for this next one, I'm actually just using a wood slice that I got from a tree that was taken down in front of my house. I had my husband cut a bunch of these little slices from the branch. This one didn't work as well, and I think it's because this wood is still wet, kind of. I think it takes a really long time for the wood to dry. So it just didn't take as well as I would like it to, but I still tried. And I knew this from trying to work with it previously, but I wanted to show you guys what it would turn out like if you used wood that was kind of too fresh almost. But maybe you have a special unique way of doing it. But anyway, so I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting my vinyl on and I'm going to apply my soldering paste and wood burn it just so you can see that it does wood burn it a little bit differently and catch fire a little bit than it did the wood slice that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. It still burns it, but it just did it a little bit differently. And I think it took a little bit longer. And again, it caught a little bit of fire there, as you could see. But here's what this one turned out once I cleaned it up. So for this next one, I'm using this little mini cutting board from the Dollar Tree again. I actually got this in their craft section, so it's not in their kitchen section. And I am doing a made with love gingerbread sign. And again, I am actually, for this one, using it as a stencil rather than putting on the words and then putting the soldering paste over top of the words. So kind of doing the opposite of what I did with the Merry Christmas. So again, I'm using the transfer tape and putting everything on that way, and I'm going to be just putting my soldering paste into where the letters are, not all over the board. So again, doing everything the opposite of what I did in the first part of the project. When you are putting the stencil on, it's really important that you are sticking it on really well, that no parts are raised, and that you are applying the paste in every little groove. It's just like if you're painting with a stencil, you want to make sure that everything is stuck on there because the stuff will bleed and then your words or letters they won't look clear. So you want everything to look crisp and clear. So this is what we're doing. Hopefully it turns out, and then we're going to remove everything and hope for the best once we rip that stencil off and once we've applied the paste and torched it. So keep watching. So after I did the torching, I added a little bow to the top, and then I also added some different little pine cones that I just hot glued on there. They're just little leftover pieces from the Dollar Tree that I picked up last year, I think, or maybe this year at the very beginning of the season. They just come in like a little baggie of different pine cones, like on a little wire. And I also added some of those sprigs that I added to the other one. And so here it is all finished. I love the way it turned out. It's super cute, and I just think it will make a great little addition to my kitchen, especially if I decide to set up a little hot chocolate stand, or even if you have a 3-tier tray, you could put this in a 3-tier tray. Okay, so this next one, again, I did the opposite of what I did with the first gnome. I made it like a stencil, and I must say that it did turn out better. So here it is all finished. Let me know what you think. So I did another way that I wanted to show you is I used a stamp, well, two different stamps, and I put the soldering paste onto the stamps. Now I would do this with stamps that you are okay with possibly wrecking because these stamps kind of fell apart. Now these stamps were very, very old, so it's possible that they fell apart because they were old, but you put the soldering paste on them and then you stamp them onto the piece of wood, and then again you torch that part. But I just wanted to show you that there are options of doing this if you don't have a Cricut, for those of you who don't have one, because Cricuts are expensive. And so I did this on the back of the cutting board and also on the back of the Merry Christmas one. And then just over here, I wanted to show you what the soldering paste looked like. I should have done this at the beginning of the video, but I didn't. So here it is, what it looks like. If you're wondering what it is, it's just for plumbing. My husband had it, so this is what I used, so I didn't have to go out and buy anything. But here it is, just right over here, and I will try to freeze frame it for you so you can see better. Okay, and here they are finished. Let me know what you think of these. Okay, so for this one here, super easy again. What I'm doing is I am painting these Christmas ornaments. They are the Santa ornaments that are red and have the little black. And what I did is I just sanded them down to try and get the gold and red off. And I am painting them gray and gold and brown, just to kind of trying to get a mix of different colors. And then I will, after they dry, I will texture them with a little bit of baking soda and just add that to it. And then I add a little bit of dry brush gold on top just to make them kind of look old and brass and aged. I absolutely love doing this with cheap dollar store Christmas balls because it is such an easy way to make them look more expensive, more high end, and for such an inexpensive price. Their ornaments are expensive, and you can, with just a little bit of acrylic paint and some elbow grease, you can make them look really expensive and high end, and you can get more bang for your buck. And then even if you just wanted to change out your decor, that's a great way to do it, and it's a great way to reuse even your old ornaments. If they're just, sometimes paint chips off of them, sometimes they just look tired. This is a great way to reduce, reuse, and recycle. So I did feature these on my other video. So if you've seen this, I apologize, but I wanted to use them in this one because in keeping with the theme of Dollar Tree, I thought this was a good one to use since most of the stuff here was from the Dollar Tree. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed everything. I hope you can recreate something and it's not too late for you. This was my last DIY video of the year for Christmas. I'm going to share some of my furniture makeovers with you in the coming weeks, and then I will start with my bedroom makeover in the new year, so you can see that. And I'm going to do some kind of household DIYs that I've been neglecting. I'll share those with you, and maybe some organization stuff. All right, thank you so much for watching, and there are new videos coming out. They're just not going to be Christmas themed, so I hope you can keep on watching because I am on a roll with being consistent. So thanks, and make sure you like and subscribe and all the fun things. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye. as you can see, I dry brushed a little bit of gold onto these bells and I attached them to the swag using a hot glue gun just for some added rustic detail. And dry brushing is just where you apply a little bit of paint and then you brush it off on a paper towel or a paper, and then you apply it to your piece of artwork or whatever. And here they are all finished. So that's it for today. Let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Below is a link to the product that I showed you today, the torches. So let me know what you think of those. Let me know what you think of the video. Like and subscribe. Be sure to check out my other videos and leave me a comment. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Stay safe.